Hello and welcome to the second game of the day. It is StarLadder Season 6, day number 12-ish or 13. Crap, I'm so stupid that I can't remember which one it is, but it doesn't matter.
It's 13, I think.
13, there we have it. And that person that you just heard is Vykromond, because he is my co-caster for today. Welcome back.
Good to be back. Power Rangers are such an odd little team. It's going to be really fun to watch them, especially considering I don't know if this is true, but I think we're going to see Slark play from this from this stand-in, and Slark's really fun to watch.
Yeah, he creates a lot of action on the map. I'm hoping you're right. I'm really hoping you're right. Before we jump ourselves into the match, I got two things to say. First of all, in about 20 to 30 minutes time, I have to open my door. That's what we do if we're not in the studio. I'm by myself, so I actually have to open my door to let my sister in. So that will mean that you'll have to have a static camera on the hero for that period of time. Already my apologies for that, but there you have it. Next to that, these are the standings as they stand before today. So the previous game that we saw is not yet added into this. We see that RoX has got an even standings in this one, 3 for 3, 9 points, looking to go to 15 today. Of course, they have 2 games today, one already played, and I'm not going to give a spoiler for people that watch the VOD, so it is either going to be 12 or 15 points or 9 points that they're going to be stuck on after today. We see Power Rangers, they've only played 3 games, they have got 1 win, 2 losses, so 3 points. One important thing to note is here that the 1 win that they have is actually the default win that they got from QPad dropping from StarLadder. So they actually haven't won yet. So yeah, that's that. And in the draft we see a CK ban.
Yeah.
So
this is an interesting draft from Power Rangers. So it's actually kind of neat what they're going for. And even with the ban pick penalizing time, they're going to lose all of the rest of their ban pick time. I'm kind of interested. They banned Darkseer and they banned Chaos Knight. Darkseer has been sneaking back into first ban sometimes based on heroes that people don't want to see. My issue here is they've given away a lot of very strong heroes to RoX.KiS. They take out the Chaos Knight, so this is basically intentionally giving IO to the other team and just denying the one hero that IO pairs with better than any other. So I think that's fairly intelligent, but the issue here is if RoX want the Gyrocopter for Business Perfect, which I think is his best win rate hero, they can secure it along with Batrider and IO. And even though Power Rangers may have secured Lifestealer, an excellent hero, I still feel like this puts them a little bit behind. The one good news, Slark is really good against Batrider in the mid.
There we have it. You called it already. That is the stand-in that will play that. Nice indeed. Slark is not only good against Batrider, but also against IO. I mean, he'll die very fast if he gets caught out. I mean, if you teleport on the Slark, you better have detection. And even if you have detection, it's still very tough to take him down, because he can just Dark Pact off the disables that he gets. So it is not going to be an easy time for RoX, but I think RoX is pretty okay with the lineup they have as well, because as you said, BZZ's Gyrocopter, often he doesn't get that. But with now the Lone Druid and the Magnus ban, and the 2 bans that indeed Power Rangers did, they have the chance to pick that up for him. So I'm actually thinking they're going to be okay with this. I wonder if they did the research you just did for the stand-in, but we'll find out.
So it's interesting. Well, I think RoX.KiS certainly didn't, because I don't think they would have picked Batrider into this otherwise. But not that Slark just trash dumps Batrider, but he is somewhat favored in the lane. It's like one of the reasons people started picking Slark was to contest Batrider in the lane. Now RoX.KiS still have the option of running Batrider jungle and then a different mid, so we could see something like that. This is kind of neat. If you have somebody on your list that you can use as a stand-in, and you know that he only plays one hero and he plays it super well, that almost gives you a leg up, because you're like, oh, if we want to run a lineup using Slark, we'll call up our friend like Slarkmaster McSlarkson, who in this case is Montano playing as JRB. I mean, he's cut in 80% win rate in public matchmaking with this hero. I don't want to overstate how important public matchmaking is, because it's not, but 80% over 350 games is actually pretty dang impressive.
Yeah, and it reminds a lot of people, I would think, of course, Admiral Bulldog, who basically started out his competitive scene as that one person that played only Lone Druid. And you know, Navi thinking, oh, we're gonna run a lineup with Lone Druid. Let's ask Bulldog. And at some point you was thinking like, okay, they got Bulldog, why aren't you banning out the Lone Druid? And you know, that's how he got rolling. So maybe we're gonna see the Slark here as the next turn to become competitive purely because of pub play. Well, not purely because of that, but big reason for it. Yeah, we'll see how he does. I mean, it's different public play obviously from competitive play, but I'm thinking he should be able to handle himself. I mean, if you played so much, then you know your heroes ins and outs completely, and you basically probably face up against every of the heroes already in the past in pubs.
Absolutely. Actually, and Slark is actually a hero that really rewards dedication because he's got such weird, unique mechanics. So Dark Pact is an ability that works differently from almost every single other ability of the game. Pounce is extremely strange. Like, as we've seen Slark enter the Western metagame, and I mean, maybe now the Eastern, we'll have to keep watching. As Slark becomes a thing, we see a lot of players that aren't familiar with him missing pounces. Even professional players, like very, very, very strong players, take the Slark and then they miss every pounce. And I mean, obviously it's a slight bit embarrassing for them, but really it's just that this ability works in a very unique way. But we probably won't see Montano miss too many pounces here. I am interested by this Queen of Pain pickup. To me, this signals Queen of Pain solo, Slark mid, and then an aggressive tri-lane built around the Lifestealer.
Well, with the bans that RoX did, they actually deny a couple of the combinations that you would make with the Shadow Demon. Of course, Leshrac and Lina is what I'm aiming for. We still have the Jakiro in the pool to follow up on that disable, which is actually a pretty nice hero as well. And it does help bursting down IO and Keeper of Light fairly easily, I mean, with the flyers. So we'll see what they pick up together with that Shadow Demon. It could be still Slark off lane. I've actually seen that once, but I don't think it's very successful, and I hope that's not going to be the case, because I'm really looking forward to seeing Slark as the solo mid hero and to be able to make a difference in the game.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say the bans looking for Power Rangers off lane bans with the Weaver Clock and the Puck solo mid ban, I guess, as well.
Yeah,
and they pick up support.
Targeting Dread heroes pretty heavily. So, RoX actually played into this a bit. They banned the Nature's Prophet, which Dread can play pretty well, and Lone Druid, which he was incredibly good on last game. They did this because Moonlight plays quite a bit of Lone Druid as well, and Lone Druid is disgustingly overpowered, of course, you can't deny that. And so, Power Rangers banned Clockwork Weaver, and now the 4 heroes that Dread plays the most, I think, I gotta look this up, but I'm pretty sure these are Dread's 4 most popular heroes in this offlane, are all gone. So this means that they have to put the Batrider jungle, I think. Or... well, who do they put mid then? I'm actually not quite sure what RoX are going to go for lanes this time. I spoke too soon.
Offline Batrider, Gyro mid, Sven Wisp Keeper safe lane?
Offlane Bat will have a really hard time.
That's why he'll go in the jungle. But if he's going to be up against that Queen of Pain, like you said, if they're expecting that, the Queen of Pain safe lane, then...
That's true. 1v1 is completely fine. If at all possible, Power Rangers want to put the Slark in Batrider's face, and if RoX.KiS avoid that by, for instance, safely jungling with him, that will be very, very good. There is always comedy solo mid-Wisp options. They could turn the Wisp against Power Rangers. But if Queen of Pain goes mid, Wisp gets dominated. Wisp has absolutely no chance.
Yeah, and there is the Rubik pickup. I like, it's a strong support. I really like Rubik as a support. Together with the Shadow Demon, it doesn't offer that much extra. I think you already mentioned that as well. I mean, you've got yourself 2 disables, which is great. I mean, Rubik already on the aggressive tri-lane is amazing. But they don't have extra synergy like, for example, Lina, Shrek, or Jakiro would have. But we'll see how they will run this. We do have Cheshire Cat playing the Queen of Pain. He is normally the off-lane player for Power Rangers, so I'm expecting that indeed to be the solo lane. With ZXC playing the Lifestealer this game, of course, if you have got a stand-in, you have to redo your, well, your number, so to speak. Who is the number 1 hero, who is the number 2 hero, etc.
10 seconds.
And in this case, it leads the solo mid to be the Lifestealer.
5 seconds remaining.
It's interesting that they've chosen to shake this up, Power Rangers. I mean, why not, really? You're a team that doesn't actually play that much on the tournament scene. You're not completely locked into your roles, but they could swap, too. It's possible.
Yeah, we'll see what they'll do here, if they indeed will swap. I'll go over both teams again, because we have got this nice flow now, I think. If you are indeed needing that time for the special effects. I hope you're
putting out a little bit of stuff.
Oh, they've played once? Power Rangers. Yep. Well, it was a long time ago.
That was a while ago. I think March? Probably March.
We see Dread playing the Bat Rider for this game, so he'll be on the offlane, or attempting to be on the offlane. Solo on the Sven, Yul on the support Wisp, Vanscore, this time under his normal name, is playing the Keeper of the Light, and BZZ on the Gyro, one of his favorite heroes, one of his signature heroes as well, so he is going to be happy with that. On the Power Ranger side is the Radiant team, it is ZXC, normally the solo mid player, now on the Lifestealer. Let's see where he is going to be heading. Luna is actually Moon or Moonlight. You can see the resemblance here. Is playing Rubik this game. GRB, or known as Montana, is playing his signature Slark. I think we can call it that. He has got an 80% win rate of that one. So looking solid. I'm really curious to see what he can pull out here. And Cheshire Cat on the Queen of Pain on the solo safe lane. And that will mean probably that he is going to be up against Dread's Bat Rider. So that will mean that we're going to be seeing a bottom lane that is actually quite even in terms of, you know, normally they meet up mid, now they meet up bottom, so we'll see who gets the better of that one. And I think, no, I missed one, sorry, I missed Cat, Shadow Demon, support on the top lane, supporting ZXC, placing a ward, probably at that minute 0 time, just to make sure he doesn't miss any ward time.
Yep. So honestly, it's really hard to predict, as it is frequently with Power Rangers games. They're a team that really does off-the-wall strategies. I haven't seen this particular lineup ever before. We did see quite a bit of Slark, like an unexpected rise of Slark in the Western qualifiers. He's fairly well configured to fight what RoX.KiS are pulling out here. In particular, he's able to get away from a lot of fights just by using his ultimate. RoX.KiS will have to be very careful about how they deploy Sight. So dust, sentries, to actually catch the Slark out. Furthermore, if he does get up against the Bat Rider, he can be in good shape. And it's really interesting what RoX.KiS have done by putting Solo on the Gyrocopter, because of course it is one of, as you mentioned, it's really almost always a BZZ hero, but they are still, I think RoX.KiS are intentionally using this time to train BZZ at a tournament level on a bunch of different carry heroes, and I think that's smart.
Yeah, I fully agree. We are going to see, I mean, that aggressive tri-lane, it's gonna be tough for Power Rangers to be as aggressive as they probably would want to. They actually are dual laning this so far. Where is it? I'm missing someone. Where is that Rubik? He is at the bottom lane actually pulling stacking. So this is not an aggressive. This is just 2 dual lanes. I like this.
Yeah, a 2-1-2. Rare that we see this, but they feel that they aren't disadvantaged enough in the lanes to actually bother with a tri-lane, and maybe they feel that the tri-lane wouldn't be able to actually fight RoX.KiS's. I don't necessarily disagree. There's a lot of stun potential coming out just by the virtue of the Stormhammer, and once someone's in place, you can tether to get more stun. You can pop at least 1 Illuminate, possibly more. It's just a very strong defensive tri-lane from RoX.KiS here that would be hard to break with the Rubik Shadow Demon, which really lacks for damage.
I agree. I just found the button that does all the overlay things. I didn't see it before. But that was...
That's the tiny little dodo.
Yeah, the tiny little dodo, but I didn't see it. It's like, oh my god, what is this? What does this do? But yeah, I like their dual lanes. It basically indeed says, I mean, they are not in any pressure to win the lane, the top lane that is, the suicide lane. They don't feel the threat of dying either, and even if they did, they have got that Shadow Demon there, so Disrupt is ready. They still have enough pressure on this bottom lane to force Dread into that jungle, so he can stand on that bottom lane. That's a courtesy of Luna there.
Not a surprise. It would be difficult for him to... Even with just 2, it's enough to scare him, which is absolutely correct.
Yeah, and in terms of last hits here on the mid lane, we see Solo sitting on 8 for 3, doing nicely on the last hits. But Montana, he's sitting on 5 for 6, so a lot of the knights, and they're actually going to go for this. They will pounce, and they will kill off Solo. Rocket Barrage, not going to be doing that much, and hey, Solo, mid, well, duo mid right now, gets the first blood, Solo goes down.
This is not tremendously unpredictable, simply because Gyrocopter is a pretty poor mid against the Slark when you come right down to it. He's not able to just plink from long distance and avoid the pounces because Gyrocopter's natural attack range is so incredibly low. This is why Fata gave an interview from Mousesports in which he was like, I used to love playing solo mid Gyrocopter, but then people realized you could just go and kill him. And that's really what PR are doing here early on in the game. The good news for RoX.KiS, I mean, they're farming quite well.
Yeah, they have got BZZ doing nicely indeed. 17-2, he is highest on top of that last hit in the Nihilist together with the Queen of Pain, so that's the counterpart of that, the safe lane from Power Ranger. Cheshire Cat doing something. The only difference is, of course, I mean, you have a Queen of Pain and a Sven Sven, in theory, should be spending his gold a bit more effectively for the later game, while of course Queen of Pain can still dominate mid game. If Sven gets enough farm, late game will be coming earlier for him, so we'll be able to dominate earlier as well. So that will be a good thing for RoX. And even though Solo has now died once, I mean, he's still getting the levels, and the higher levels he gets, of course, the more impact he'll have in the team fights that at some point they can try to force out, because team fight wise, Power Rangers don't have that much apart from the Sonic Wave.
Right.
And that's something that RoX can get ahead on.
They have a tremendous amount of damage that they can deal eventually, but you're absolutely right. They don't have that much lockdown. One thing the RoX.KiS are doing, and I guess they've done it for
wait a second. Solo. Open wounds. This is a suicide lane lifestealer that just came from the top lane, decided, hey, I'll go mid, I'll grab myself a kill. He gets an assist, because Slark picks up the kill, but yeah, that's interesting to see.
CXC not farming that much, but what he is doing is, yeah, he came over to get the kill credit. Now 2-0-0 for Slark in this mid lane. He's also gone quick magic sticks, so surprisingly effective against Gyrocopter, not as much as it is against Batrider, but Gyrocopter, another hero that uses a lot of abilities. He uses Rocket Barrage, Flak Cannon, and in a 1v1 lane, he frequently uses Homing Missile to harass. This isn't fatal for RoX.KiS. They don't necessarily need this Gyrocopter to be that huge yet. It was more of a strategic fake out where, oh, we're going to have BZZ on the Gyrocopter. Just kidding, we're actually doing something completely different. But I'm sure they'd love for Solo to be having an easier time here.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that, you know, I know that my sister was waiting for the tram or bus, whatever. And I think that when I have to, like, select a hero, like, which hero is going to create the most action while I am trying to open the door? Slark is going to be the target I will want to be watching, yes.
Absolutely.
He is creating, I mean, he is ready to create a lot of action. Of course, I mean, so far the action has come to him, which is great. As we see a disruption here, yeah. Want to go for the Shadow Demon, BZZ trying to run. Open Wounds is there. There's a Stormhammer, but here comes Cheshire Cat coming in to take the kills. Double kill for him right now, and Vanscore, run little horsey, run, because you're not safe. In the meantime, dual kill mid, as in Luna coming in with the Rubik to help Montana on his Slark to kill off Solo for the third time this game. It is 5-0 in favor of Power Rangers.
And it's a critical kill also on the IO, substantially delaying that level 6 for the Wisp. Not able to sort of start the Sven relocations. Very, very nice. Especially, I love the rotation from Cheshire Cat. Of course, RoX.KiS probably should have been watching out. I kind of feel that they walked into a trap there. Throwing out the Stormhammer, basically, you're praying Dread's here now, but he doesn't. Keep in mind, Dread's not 6 either. He doesn't have the lasso. They were kind of praying that the Queen of Pain wouldn't have the foresight to TP over, because nobody was facing her in lane. There was no reason not to rotate. And of course, when you throw a Stormhammer against a Lifestealer who you know has Rage cooldown up, you're essentially just praying that he forgets that that Q button exists.
Yeah, in the meantime, we have got Slark trying to get something done here. Dread in a lot of trouble. The Spirits harassing a bit, but yeah, it's not enough. Not even a pounce needed. There he's go. Oh, wow, yo. No chance for him. He gets a Stormhammer, though. Illuminate will fly through, too, but he has that ulti, and there's no vision. Even the haste shoot, of course. Soul Catcher there. Oh, he wants to go in. Or does he?
There's vision because the sentry ward's down, but it doesn't matter. He can't chase them under a tier 1 tower, simply because his HP is too low to still manage that. But 5-0 Slark is a problem. They really have to be kind of concerned about that. He has no like, oh man, that pounce!
He pounced on Dread. Dread is dead. Oh my god, that rhymes. And this, I mean, 6-0, Shadowblade on the way. This is a dangerous hero, and I think he's not gonna stop. He is gonna continue on this way. Like, how do you think he got an 80% win rate on Slark and pubs? Just continue getting kills. This is how! Hey, Vanscore! Welcome to the party! That's a Wicked 6 Slark. Finding next target shouldn't be that hard, but BZZ hiding for now. But he has the luck that the lane was pulled. That's actually working in favor right now of the Slark. And BZZ realizes that the tower would be different. There's another pounce. Of course it hits! Of course it hits! Stormhammer only gonna hit up on Cat, doesn't really matter too much. And even if it did, there was already a Dark Pact being done, and that's a monster kill streak, 8-0.
He's brown-footing them to death. He doesn't even have tier 2 boots to chase, it's just these pounces are hitting with
He has a poor man's shield, brown boots, and a magic wand.
And take note, Shadowblade, so he's going Dendy build. I mean, I guess we can call it the JRB build now, right? just for that extra speed and aggression, and
Dire's
I agree
bottom
with this
tower is
100%.
under attack.
Leverage just how overpowered that Shadow Blade is until it gets nerfed. Abuse the hell out of how much speed and damage that gives you.
Dire's middle
And
tower is under
I
attack.
am starting to not even see a way back in for RoX.KiS, considering how are they going to deal with the Slark as he gets bigger and bigger? The only nice thing is he has no last hits, but who cares? He has
Dire's
8
top
kills.
towers are fortified.
I think that's a bit more important. I mean, he's top of net worth right now with 25 last hits. That is something that you won't see every day. Of course, the tower helps a bit as well. Even though we didn't get the last one on the tower, it's still a bit of extra gold towards his name. But yeah, that's quite interesting to see. He is on the bottom lane. I think he's expecting someone to defend the tower, but everybody's actually top, so he has a TP. Probably wants to use it. And probably will use it as well. Sven farming. You're almost level 6. Average kill per minute. Oh, 0.89. That's deadly. Like literally.
Dire's bottom tower
That's
It's
insane.
the nice thing is Power Rangers aren't just the nice thing about this team. They're not just like, oh, well, let's sit back and let Slark win the game for us. They're utilizing that. You can see the Cheshire Cat is actually farming quite well in addition to 2
Dire's
kills
bottom
himself.
tower is
He has a
under
decent
attack.
amount of last hits. He's the highest on the map because he had that free farm lane. He's building towards a fast Scythe of Vice, and so they're not just taking these kills, they're also making sure that their heroes get some levels and don't stay behind. Their only player that isn't higher level than the entire team of RoX.KiS is caught on the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, and oh my god, the shame of being not level 6 on the support at this minute in. I mean, he has been involved in 4 of the 10 kills, which is quite impressive with the way that Slark has been bouncing around. But yeah, he's not gonna hold his team back. He's got his utility, he's got a disruption, and I mean, disruption normally a defensive item right now. He doesn't have to worry about that just yet. The only time that he has to worry about the disruption and being able to stay in fights long enough to actually use it properly is when Dread has his Blink Dagger. And he doesn't have that yet, even though he's farming really, really fast, or trying to. At least he is getting a bit of stacks here, as we do have maybe attempted kill. There goes Solo, and there he indeed goes down as well. And that will be a last 2. Montana, but where's the damage? Tether comes in, the spirits will be there, but the ulti being used. And it is gonna be a disruption helping out as well. Look at that HP, not visible in the disruption, means regen, open wounds, up on Dread, DXE coming in, Cheshire Cat with the scream, with the Shadow Strike. That's a pounce that misses. I think that's the first one that we see, but it doesn't matter. Cheshire Cat will take a double kill. It is 14-0 at minute 11 rather.
Yeah, I mean, Power Rangers aren't just dominating this game, they're wiping the floor with RoX.KiS. And one thing I want to talk about is, you have a stand-in, and you know that he plays this hero, and it seems like their entire draft, start to finish, was structured around helping out this Slark stand-in do the most work, which is quite remarkable. It's so rare that you see a team take a stand-in, and they work around him. But that's what they're doing here. Even, like I just said on the stats screen, Lifestealer is going this Phase Boots drums build just so that he can be fast enough to keep up with the Slark and put the open wounds down, which is actually a huge... Oh, Dread. He's just going to get blown up. Look at this. This is insane.
I actually... RoX might tap out early off this one.
I wouldn't blame them in the slightest. Do they have any more games today?
RoX doesn't, I believe.
Okay. Well, you might as well stick it out then, why not? Unless you just... It depends on how bad you're feeling about how the game went.
Yeah, we see Montana looking for it again.
This is legit. I mean, the thing is...
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, fine. Next Bulldog? It's the Bulldog of Slark?
The Bulldog of Slark. The thing is, how well would people do if people are prepared to take down a Slark? Like, if people were expecting a Slark.
Slark is not Lone Druid. He's not
exactly
completely overpowered in every single way. There's ways to counter him.
And
like, there's a guy on public matchmaking who has a 78% win rate on Meepo, and that's all he plays. But the problem is, you can't join a professional team if the only hero you're amazing at is Meepo, because Meepo sucks. Like, sorry.
Yeah, he's only nice under the right
Here's the relocate.
Oh,
Maybe they can get Cheshire.
They want Cheshire Cat. They want 1 kill this game. The blink is it gonna be there? It is still there. Oh, blink. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he maxed it too, so he's actually going Lincoln's, not Scythe of Vice, for obvious reasons.
Yeah,
Oh no!
They come back top. Hello, they say. BCC running, but where is he gonna go? He can't go anywhere. He tries to do something before he dies, but double kill goes away of Montana. He is 13%. He has an assist. What?
Your relocate might go well, but I doubt it.
Oh, and a double damage rune, of course, helping out there as well. So that's where a lot of the damage came from. It
and
is.
Good for Power Rangers, honestly. Their only win in StarLadder had been annulled by the fact that Cupid got disconnected. But here we go. I mean, I am one of the few casters, like, not one of the few casters, I'm one of the last people who's going to be like, oh, this game's completely over, but this game is completely over. Like, there's no way that RoX.KiS win this at this point.
Unless it can completely... Unless it's gonna get thrown.
Yeah, so, but here's the thing. We talked about throw equivalency yesterday, right? Like, they're like 5 throws behind.
Oh, bouncing away. Running for the lives, flame break, putting up the hill. It's actually helping him out a bit. Cooldown actually is not helping him out at all. Rocket Rush was to hit. Oh my god, that's a godlike streak down the drain. Solo picking up 708 gold for that. He is gonna be very happy. Cat will take a follow as well. Can't really stay alive against that harassment. And these are kills that RoX is getting for the first time this game. Double kill on Solo. Is this a comeback? We just almost said it was over. RoX still believe it's not. We know that Sven is a hero that if he gets enough time, he can wipe the entire team of Power Rangers in one hit.
Yeah, except they don't have the lockdown to actually do that. They have no AoE stun. All they have is an AoE slow. I mean, they have the Storm Bolt, but that's it. So killing the Slark was a huge deal. It gave 708 gold, as you mentioned. It was also a huge XP bounty because Slark was 4 levels higher than the highest level of anybody on RoX.KiS at that time. So that's an extremely important kill, and RoX.KiS are doing a good job of staying together afterwards. But you still have a Wisp who Yol's only item is a bottle. And even BZZ is perfect, just has power treads and maybe part of a drums. Here's the relocate. Maybe
relocate. Keeper Flight already goes down. They want to go for Solo. BZZ comes in, lands a stun. There's a pounce. That is IO dead. Sonic Wave still goes on. Cheshire Cat, he just needs to blink. Just needs to blink. Cannot blink. Goes down, but he goes down with this fan. Dread running away with his life. Solo was already limping back to base. Well, limping if he would have not flown, I guess. Don't know how you call a limping helicopter. But tier 2 tower will go down. It's quite surprising to see a 22-3 score with still having all tier 2 towers up, and that's something that Power Rangers will change right now.
Yeah, actually the Queen of Pain, you can't really blame Cheshire Cat too much. He was stunned by a homing missile of all things, so that's why he wasn't able to blink out of that fight. But even the trades are bad for RoX.KiS at this point. They're good for XP, but they're bad because they give them no map control whatsoever. And keep in mind, they went a pretty, not a totally greedy lineup because Sven's not that item dependent, but they absolutely, like, this gyrocopter has just not been getting things done. He had a difficult lane. He really honestly got dominated by the dual mid that PR ran against him. And it's given Power Rangers so much control over the map and room to get their heroes up into play.
We have a haste rune up on GRB and a blink dagger now up on the Rubik. Yeah, there's a lot of gold on these supports, of course, as well. Well, actually, looking at Cat, that's not entirely true anymore. But we did see the Shadow Demon going for towers and such. He was not, Shadow Demon Rubik, that is. He was not in all the fights. Luna was actually farming bottom at some point while the rest of his team was fighting middle.
And now he has Blink, yeah.
And now he has Blink, so that's the result of that. I mean, he might only have 3 assists for the kills that have been done. But if this game, if this game goes on longer and RoX.KiS find a way to hold themselves inside in this game, Luna is going to be playing a very big role in all of this.
Absolutely. There aren't that many amazing steals this game, but there are plenty that could be a huge deal. Like, for instance, if you get Stormhammer, you turn RoX.KiS's only reliable stun against them. If you get Illuminate, you can just deal a tremendous amount of damage to a team that is not going to be able to afford BKB on any of their heroes for a very long time. If you get Overcharge, you can overcharge yourself and take 3.5% less damage. It's huge. There's so many good options.
Yeah, and we see that there is actually a Lincoln Sphere up on Cheshire Cat, so he has that. Normal masters for him. And yeah, Solo is in some trouble.
Yeah. They can dive under tower without any problems.
Oh yeah, they can. And there's the pounds. They get it. Cooldown coming down. Boom. Still does something, but not that much. Here comes the resto. They might know they won't fight without a gyro.
I mean, this is the problem. They have
the haste rune.
The diving capability of Power Rangers is so strong that it's like, oh, actually, good defensive play by RoX there. But it's just like, you can try to hide under your tier 2 tower and survive. But I doubt it.
At the door, by the way. But I don't think there's going to be a fight. I think he realized there was a a gem up on the bed rider. We're
Doesn't
gonna
matter.
still see him picking up
Oh,
Van
okay.
Score though. I will have my mouse or my camera up on Slark because that's the hero that has all the action. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that they have a gem, of course, and it's up on Batrider, which is the most mobile hero. But Batrider can't be everywhere at once, and right now they're pushing the tier 1, which means that Power Rangers can just rule the jungle and take this tier 2, and there's nothing RoX.KiS can do. You can be a support that has abilities like Blinding Light that cause people to miss auto attacks, and that might keep you alive, but I doubt it. And JRB this game, I mean, we knew right from the beginning, we were looking in the pregame that, hey, this guy only plays Slark. His Slark might be kind of scary. And you can't say that RoX.KiS didn't go into this with both eyes open, considering the fact that if they had any eyes open, they'd see that the guy's avatar is a picture of the Murloc Nightcrawler. Oh, here we go, a relocate though. This could actually work. Luna's completely out of position. There's the lasso. Blink Dagger is up on Dread finally at 19 minutes. Easy kill on Rubik here, and JRB just fleeing, leaving that guy to die, but honestly probably the right choice. Luna got caught a little bit out of position, but it's a weird day when your Rubik is so farmed that he can actually buy back and still has Blink Dagger. That's really the problem that RoX.KiS face here. They have a more than 15k gold deficit at 19 minutes. That's almost the 1k per minute, 1,000 gold per minute deficit. Solo just hiding in the trees, still working on, I guess, his drums. You've got 2 people... No, okay, so Sven stopped building drums. He just has the bracer. JRB gonna get stuck by the homing missile. Immediately Dark packs it off. And meanwhile, RoX.KiS are just trying, kind of with difficulty, to farm the Ancients. BZZ is, like, almost dying to these. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, I was saying that I was back. I mean, I came back like when Rubik bobbed back into the game. It's like, what?
Yeah.
The
He has that money. Because
He
he's
has-
so rich
yeah.
that he can do that.
This is support. He is totally poor now though, but he just wanted to buy back. I mean, RoX is having a very tough time, but I'm very impressed that they can still hold on like this and find the way to deal with the aggression that came from Power Rangers. So I'm tipping my hat to them if I would have a hat right now, because most teams or a lot of teams would have tapped out by now.
A lot of teams would have tapped out by now, but they decided to not do it, so... it's fine, because honestly, RoX.KiS has been doing okay since then. They've really stabilized. Slark is one of those heroes that has a really hard time actually just finishing the game. And in general, if you look at Power Rangers lineup, they have no push. They have no actual good pushing heroes. I would almost love to see Queen of Pain go a Necronomicon after her, what's it called? After a Lincoln Sphere. Just to push through and help. If they get a tier 3 Necro, the backlash damage alone is going to almost insta-kill Keeper of the Light, who has 682 HP. Just the backlash damage from tier 3 Necros, if he illuminates and kills one of them, is enough to take 90% of his HP out. They need Pipe and Necro, and I think they can get the tier 3, even though Slark isn't a great pusher. He's building Lincolns too, by the way, for what it's worth, so it's just pure anti-lasso tech. They want to make sure that Dread does nothing this game.
And that they don't have that shutdown to worry about. I fully understand that. I mean, even the Stormhammer won't hit then, so just to make sure that there's 2 solid lockdowns, Lasso, Stormhammer. With only one of those, there's not enough time for RoX to take down a target in that time. And even if they take down one target, they still have to deal with the other one, because there's 3 cores up on Power Rangers.
Could be trouble for Penelope the Porcine Princess here if they spot it out. Well, there's more trouble for Solo.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you just call Solo a pig? What the hell?
No, I'm talking about Penelope the Porcine Princess over here.
Yeah, she was, in the end was safe, but Solo not so safe. There's no buyback for him, I believe. Open wound, ZXE just dive in the base, Sonic Wave up on 3, blows up Van Score. And this is gonna be 2 people that look to be finding the base. Cheshire Cat with an infest out, coming out with ZXC, it opens up on Yol, and that's already 4 heroes on the sidelines. Buyback from a Keeper of the Light that could do that. But they will be going for the tier 3 tower. Let's see how far they can get before the Illuminates will start flying again. I mean, GRB is quite low, he doesn't have an Aegis, and he'll actually pounce himself away, so that's gonna be him out of the picture for now.
He's just gonna know, because he's gonna reach it all the way back up. Because Slark gets 2-3 Hearts of Tarrasque when he's stealth, because that's balanced. I'm just kidding, it's perfectly balanced.
Yeah, it's perfectly balanced. Last 2 up on ZXC, but in the meantime, GRB able to stay alive and able to not die either. Nobody dies, they kind of went a bit for focus fire that wasn't really focused at all. And they TP in, they get themselves a support, but they lose the Wisp for it. Cheshire Cat, chased down by Solo, Ghost Scepter to jump himself out. Oh, do you really want to be there? No, you don't! No, you don't! JRB, he goes down. Aegis being popped though. That is gonna be ZXC back to life. Opens up on BZZ. He can't run. Or can he? Actually, he can turn around for Stormhammer. No, just too late. Solo getting slowed down, coming in with a demonic burst. They can't stop him from TPing out. Never mind, they can. The disruption was still there. Solo will die as well. And only the Keeper of Light left alive. What is this kind of game?
That was actually really smart by Kot there to disrupt. He didn't get the purge damage, but I don't think the purge would have killed the gyro. Honestly, RoX.KiS' only hope for the last bit has been Vanscore just bombing these Illuminates. That's why I said PR really wants pipe. I mean, you can only say that it matters so much, because like even with every single Illuminate hitting well, which you have to give Vanscore the proper credit, he's managed to not die in a while, and he has 682 HP against a Slark who's 19-2. So good play by Vanscore overall, and these Illuminates have done work. It's just not enough when you're down 33-6. And that's the last serious thing I'll say about this game.
Yeah, it is 20k in favor of Power Rangers. It is 25k experience in favor of Power Rangers. The other one was gold, obviously. And they just taken the first set of racks, back off because they want to. Looking to farm some Ancients, looking to push the other two lanes out, and they're gonna do it the good way, as in just taking down Mega Creeps at some points. RoX.KiS, so they hold on. They think they have a chance, so I think we should think they have a chance too.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, now they're down one set of Raxes. That's a big disadvantage. When you're at a 25,000 gold farm disadvantage, you need all your lanes up so you can actually farm the entire map. That said, again, Sven... Oh, poor Vanscore. 3-shot. He gets 3-shot. You can't blame him. He didn't even need to use his double damage to kill him there. The problem is RoX.KiS have no map control, no vision, not that much space to farm, and their gyrocopter only has a Ring of Akala and drums. That said, if they could find safe farm, they should put it on the gyrocopter. Sven, just say, Sven, you're done farming, unfortunately.
Yeah, Dread gets blown up. That's an Ethereal Blade ready on Cheshire Cat. And the gem on the floor gets picked up as well by Yul, I believe. Yep. Here comes ZRB. BKB gets turned on. That's the first 10 seconds gone of your BKB that you just picked up, that you used defensively while you should be trying to use it aggressively, because how now are you gonna stop Power Rangers bashing on your door, the tier 3 tower?
Nice dodge of the... Oh, so they're being smart. The thing about these Lincolns, one of the many reasons why I'm not terrifically fond of this item, against a gyrocopter, Lincolns is actually pretty weak because he has that low cooldown ability. Well, we're just gonna say Slark. Oh, a rare missed pounce, actually.
Yeah, the second one of the game. No, maybe more.
I think it's like the third. You can cause the Lincolns to be immediately removed just by casting Homing Missile. The Homing Missile doesn't actually have to hit.
Let's see, Cheshire Cat running, gets stunned. Disruption first, though. Nice disruption. Illuminate will fly through. Cheshire Cat is out of the woods. Lincolns will block the lasso. JRB will be saved. ZXC trying to eat up the Sven is able to do just that. Gets Vanscore as well. Cheshire Cat getting a double kill. ZXC getting a double kill. Buybacks all around. And there we have it. 39-6, which is gonna be soon. 40-6. And in the end, 41-7, because Queen of Pain still died. Okay, 41-7, but that is the GG. That is the game. That is Power Rangers taking another 3 points in StarLadder Season 6.
The nice thing about the two Lincolns, of course, is it's so much pressure on Batrider. Every time he wants to... Wow. Oh, wow, that's a really serious trash talk. That's... Also, like, the Shadow Demon played very well. He says, thanks for not banning SD, and then he says, joke. Well, the joke is in English. So I guess he's saying it's a joke game because they didn't... I guess he's probably being facetious because, of course, even though Kot had a very good game on Shadow Demon, some of the disruptions were excellent, it's not Shadow Demon that won this game.
Oh,
like, sorry, buddy.
Not. Nice. No, it was the Slark. 100%. Brilliant play from Stanin, and I'm actually hoping that we'll see him more because it was really enjoyable to watch. We are going to be jumping ourselves to the next game. The game that most people have been waiting for. It is Na'Vi taking on Virtus.pro, and I think that the bets will be fairly even. I think that a lot of people will not know who to go for with their rares, but we're gonna see the outcome anyway. We're gonna be seeing 2 games from Virtus.pro, yeah. 2 games Virtus.pro, 1 Na'Vi, 1 DD, 2 high-profile matches coming up, and best out of 1, so they will be explosive, or at least that's what I'm hoping for.
Those should be good games, definitely. But honestly, this game, I wasn't expecting it to be this
this game was very enjoyable. It was very one-sided, but very enjoyable. I like seeing Slark this way.
I have not seen a Power Rangers game that I actually regretted watching, whether they win or lose. Like, Solo Mid-Wisp, Slark, clowny level 1 Roshan attempts. This team has it all.
Yeah.
How can you not love this team?
I'm sure they should have created some fans for them today as well. We are going to be jumping ourselves next game though. StarLadder, Season 6, Day... What did you say, 12 or 13?
13.
Day 13 coming up in just a moment.